Anyone who spent 5 minutes watching our videos will know that we're big fans of anything cute and fluffy.
You're right.
Dog.
A dog. This is like a wildlife tour of
Yeah.
Ireland.
Oh, look at it.
See? But some animal besties do far more for us than just stand there looking adorable, often aiding us in our quests as we hero around various worlds. And they do this in spite of us being frankly awful owners who don't deserve their love, whether we're being mean to them, making them carry stuff, or getting them into fights, and then leaving them to it while we teleport to safety. Sorry buddy, we'll be back in a bit, promise. Here then are the animal friends who so often saved our bacon, despite the fact that some of them would have probably loved some as a treat. Along the way, beware spoilers for the following.
What if I told you that I had an invention that could fight your enemies, help you find treasure, and be an adorable little woof woof? What? To help you explore the land of Albion, Fable creators Lionhead added such an invention to the second game, giving you a doggy pal to aid you in your adventures. Throughout the game, your waggy-tailed friend became extremely loyal, as it helps you take down all the nasties and bad guys after you. And helps you find lost treasures with its keen sense of smell, whether that be a bit of cash to put down on your next piece of real estate, or something a bit more, well, something you really don't want to dig up. You know, you don't have to bring me everything you find. Still, as you can see, this loyalty doesn't go very far with us, as we gave our doggo a stupid name, a ridiculous collar, dragged him through all sorts of awful monster-filled places, and, on top of that, forced them to learn all sorts of weird tricks to please us and the crowds. Look, Dave, I need these people to like me so that I can become queen and get loads of cash. Now dance. Plus, not only is the dog forced to change its appearance to match the current state of our soul, but in the See the Future DLC, we can also use potions to change its breed, depending on whichever is our favourite at that time. Husky! Wonder if that hurts. Nah, who cares? Dalmatian! Then, after all that, if you wanted the truly good ending, you had to sacrifice your dog so a bunch of dumb citizens could live.
Love. Those dearest to you, your family, even your faithful dog, will be restored to life. But their lives come at the cost of the countless innocents who died in building the spire.
I, of course, opted to save the dog, because even though I'm a bad owner, I'm not going to, sacrifice my dog for all the people of Albion who seem to, telling me what I should and shouldn't wear, or if I gained weight or not. I mean, Peter Molyneux, how did you think I was going to choose them over my dog? And I don't care if you can bring him back in the DLC.
Molyneux wronged you, Helen, I get it. Come
Dave!
You'd think Mario would have more respect for Yoshi. After all, while Mario can only really do one thing, i.e. jump roughly 4 times his own height, Yoshi proves that he can, in his various incarnations, consume enemies, flutter jump for extra leaping distance, or even fire his own unfertilized young at Mario's enemies. Yoshi's special skills make him easily more qualified than Mario to rescue Princess Peach, but Nintendo's mustachioed mascot isn't giving up top billing that easily. As such, from the moment Yoshi first introduces himself, Mario considers him little more than a beast of burden. Sorry Yoshi, but Mario's legs were tired. I mean, I assume they were, we can't really see them. Yoshi is Mario's faithful companion, a loyal animal friend over the years, and this, despite the fact that Yoshi's main duty is to be a meat shield between Mario and his enemies, soaking up a hit of damage so the big man doesn't have to. Or, worst of all, being sacrificed entirely just so Mario can clear a jump that he initially misjudged. It's no wonder after the trauma of those early days, Yoshi now spends most of his time hiding from Mario on the roof of Princess Peach's castle. Not that anywhere is safe. Yeesh. Guess we can add dinosaurs to the things that Mario doesn't care about, along with Luigi and Luigi stuff.
Pets always see the best in their owners. What human would watch you eat fistfuls of Frosties in your underwear the day after your work Christmas party and not pass judgment?
That's an oddly specific reference.
You're an oddly specific reference. Few animals in games embody this wholehearted devotion better than the horses in The Elder Scrolls V: Skyrim. From the very moment you clamber aboard one of these rugged beasts, they become immediately bonded to you and behave as if you raised them from birth, fighting any threat that happens to appear, even when hopelessly outmatched. All this despite the fact you probably stole that horse from its real owner just 10 minutes ago because you were sick of using your dragonborn legs to journey across Tamriel.
Get your thieving hands off that.
Horse, I think this is the start of a beautiful friendship. Oh, you've died. Yeah, because horses in Skyrim are so eager to hurl themselves into battle on your behalf, it can be surprisingly tough to keep the poor things alive. Seriously, nay, all Patrick Harris, feel free to hang back. I got this. Even scarier, the Skyrim horse's reckless devotion to you extends to charging up cliffs and along precipices that even the Dragonborn isn't stupid enough to try and summit. No! Winnie Driver! Why? Oh, I should really stop naming my Skyrim horses. Dr. Hooves! Damn it.
Most friends here have been of the four-legged variety, but what about the two-legged and two-winged variety, with beaks that are so sharp that they could tear your eyes straight out of your head? Aww. Assassin's Creed Origins' Bayek is a likeable chap, but to be honest, he is somewhat outshone by his eagle pal Senu. She's got a mind as sharp as her claws, able to scout ahead, marking out not only enemies and animals, but also relaying their stats, being able to quickly calculate whether or not you have a chance against them by assigning them a level. That's how it works, right? Guys? She can even kill animals on the go, allowing you to hoover up the resources left behind, as well as join you in combat with her harass ability, which lets her launch herself recklessly at people's faces. Atta girl. But what thanks does she get? Well, things start out well with her introductory cutscene being the most adorable thing in the world. No, I'm not crying. You're crying. Shut up. But beyond that, she doesn't get nearly as much praise as she deserves for patiently tailing Bayek across some of the harshest terrain on Earth and having to do sudden, detailed detective work on behalf of a guy who spends more time making a fuss of the local cats. And it turns out that many assassins out there haven't been giving her the praise she deserves. See, many have lamented online that whilst they knew that Senu would obediently perch on your arm should you stand around for long enough, they didn't know that you could press triangle on the PS4, Y on the Xbox One, or E on PC to pet or feed her. And yes, I did just list all three to make sure that you don't fail to give her all the praise that she deserves. Don't make the same mistake they did.
Right here, boy.
Fable 2's dog is good and all, but will it help you fight a giant irradiated scorpion?
There aren't any giant irradiated scorpions in Albion.
How convenient. Dogmeat is something of a staple in the Fallout series, but it was in Fallout 4 that we truly fell in love with him and then immediately made him carry everything we owned. Or what, like you didn't? Among Dogmeat's many sterling qualities are his ability to sniff out useful things in the stinky wasteland.
Hey, boy. Think you can find something for me? See if there's any good stuff nearby, boy.
And how handy he is in fighting the many ghastly ghouls trying to murder you. But again, the thing we mainly used him for was to carry all the crap that we couldn't. Oh man, I'm over encumbered. Dogmeat! Here, boy! Now carry this 300 pounds of minigun ammo. Fortunately for junk-hoarding soul survivors like us, Dogmeat trusted us instantly and had no problem carrying all sorts of things we didn't have room for, from tin cans that we need for reasons, to heavy weaponry that, in all honesty, we're not entirely sure where he's keeping. And that's not to mention the inevitable dress-up sessions whenever we stumble across a new bandana, or, even better, goggles. Such a good boy!
Breath of the Wild is a Zelda game about exploring a vast landscape full of wildlife and wonders, and then getting as much of that wildlife into captivity as you can. Such is the fate of horses in the game, who roam across Hyrule in groups, keeping themselves to themselves, caring little for the tawdry affairs of men, and free from the concepts of servitude and ownership. That is until Link shows up to the horse party, because any wild steed you spot in Breath of the Wild can be yours to keep and ride around forever, if you can creep up on it undetected and soothe it into submission. Cheers, Dobbin. Now let's get you away from your family and into a stable, where you'll stay for the rest of your life, especially if it transpires you're a horse of lesser star quality, and therefore not quite as capable as other horses out there. Look at those stats! Sorry, Dobbin, the hero of time's buttocks deserve the very finest. You understand. But horses kept behind in the stable are actually the lucky ones, because even though Breath of the Wild's GGs will carry you faithfully across hill and dale, Link's Sheikah Slate fast travel power means he already has a much more efficient way of getting around, one that can be activated almost anywhere, although it's not possible to bring the horses along with you. Yikes, looks like things are getting pretty hairy. I'm out of here. You got this, right, Dobbin? Dobbin's got it. Dobbin gave me a look as if to say, you go, I've got this. Pretty sure. Leaving your faithful horse in the middle of nowhere invariably means you'll never go back to get them, abandoning them to fend for themselves in the wilderness. Dobbin's probably safer out there, to be honest, as if your horse sustains too much damage in the line of duty, it can be killed. Which means you'll have to slog all the way to the horse shrine to bring them back, which costs 1,000 rupees? You know, now that I think about it, pretty sure Dobbin was ready to pass on. Gave me this look as if to say, live your life. Pretty sure.
Dusty the cat from Gravity Rush is both adorable and able to grant you supernatural, law of nature-defying gravity abilities. Wow, whoever said cats weren't helpful? Oh, us. Oh well, there's a first time for everything. Anyway, you'd think with all that going on, you'd be keen to keep Dusty on your side. That's why it's a surprise when the first time you meet Dusty in Gravity Rush, you essentially tell him to f*** off and go beg somewhere else. Now you could argue at this point that the game's hero, Cat, doesn't know that Dusty has incredible gravity powers, to which I would submit the counter-argument that he's a weird pulsating cat made of galaxies. Probably be nice to it, just to be on the safe side. Luckily, Dusty is the bigger cat, and as such still goes ahead and gives you the gravity powers you need to complete the game, and also rescues you later on. You're welcome, Cat. You're called Cat. You'd think you'd be better disposed to felines. Then again, we never learn her surname. Might be Hater.
Get in there, boy! Go!
No dog is so feared and respected as a K9 unit police dog, except Clifford. We live by his whim. So just imagine the honours due to Shadow, the boxily rendered Malamute Wolf Cross from the Dead to Rights games, who in the first instalment accompanies hero Jack Slate on a bullet time heavy quest to find his father's killer.
Victim's name is Slate. Frank Slate. He's my dad.
Now Shadow is most definitely a good boy, loyally following Jack into all manner of deadly scrapes, but the list of demands that Jack makes of his faithful hound has us wondering if he should be entrusted with the care of an animal at all. Would the RSPCA describe this as a safe environment for a dog, Jack?
Shadow, go see what you can do.
And when he's not being sent into deadly situations, Shadow's main duty is tearing apart what any police department will tell you are the 3 T's: throats, torsos, and testicles. Presumably Shadow wasn't born with a hunger for male reproductive organs, and so it seems a little unfair to both hound and human that he's been trained to shred them on command. And while all dogs enjoy a spirited game of fetch, we wonder if Jack did right by Shadow when he trained him to jump into a hail of bullets to retrieve a bit of extra ammo for his human master. Shadow only wants to be a good dog, but Jack's woeful enthusiasm for putting his pet in harm's way comes back to bite him at the end of Dead to Rights Retribution, when Shadow throws himself once more into danger but gets seriously hurt protecting his master.
Oh, jeez. Shadow, hang in there. I'll be right back, boy. I'm gonna get that fucker.
I mean, the other thing you could get is Shadow to the vet, but hey, I guess you know best. What's this? It's Cat Ellen.
Meow.
Cat Ellen.
Meow.
What's that you say?
Meow.
Your expression appears to say that if anyone else can think of any other animals we might have missed from this list, they should suggest it in the comments. Is that right? Yes, good, brilliant, good feedback, excellent. And what's that you're gesturing to, Cat Ellen, with your feline face? It's other videos. But no, they're not really there. They're not. No, stop it. You'll break them. For God's sake, don't go after the subscribe orb. No.